Hello, my name is JD Deerking. I'm in the making of modern Kentucky, and this is my final reflection. The main thing that stands out to me as a maker of modern Kentucky is the use of natural resources, especially the land and forests. If I had to put it in one sentence, I'd say the way Kentucky's land and resources were used really well to shape its economy and the way people lived. The reason I picked this is because it showed up a lot throughout the semester, no matter what we were talking about. Early settlers, industries, or even labor conflicts. It always connected back to the land and resources. Kentucky had a lot of valuable things like forests and coal, but the way those were used wasn't always a good long term. A lot of times, people were just focused on making money in the moment instead of thinking about the future. That ended up affecting the environment and also the people living there. One example that stood out to me was the reading from Rev. Dr. A.E. Brown in Manufacture Records, which we read in the textbook. He talked about how quick forests in Kentucky were being cut down. That stuck with me because it shows that even back then, people knew this was happening and that it might be a problem. It wasn't just growth, it was an overuse. An example of this is what we learned about coal mining in eastern Kentucky. In class, we talked about how coal companies controlled a lot of the land and jobs, and that led to conflicts with workers. People depended on those jobs, but they didn't really have much power. That led to strikes and tension in places like Harlan County. This shows that natural resources didn't just help Kentucky grow, they also caused problems like inequality and conflict. And honestly, you can still see some of those effects today. For the second part, one thing I'm really glad I learned is that the labor struggles in eastern Kentucky, especially the story behind the song, "Which Side Are You On?" by Florence Reese. Before this class, I had never heard of it, but it gave me a better understanding of how serious those conflicts were. I'm glad I learned this because it made history feel more real. It wasn't just a fact, it was about actual people and what they actually went through. Families were dealing with a lot, and workers were standing up for themselves even when it was risky. One thing that stood out was how the song was used during the Harlan County conflicts. From the class discussion and the KET video, it showed how music became a way for workers to come together and support each other. It wasn't just a song, it was like a message and a way to stand up for what they believe in. Overall, this class has helped me understand that Kentucky's history is shaped on real decisions and real people, and that those still affect people around us today. I had a great time taking this class because, not being from Kentucky, I really enjoyed learning about the history of where I go to school today.